In the previous videos, we had talked about paths as powerful tools to create shapes and save them and then convert them into selections as often and as many times as we want to. Here we're going to talk about how we can use channels to essentially do the same thing. What I mean is that once we make a new channel, for instance, here this red shape represents a new channel, we can turn that into a selection. And of course, a selection, once we select an area, we can do any number of things to it in our image. But we can, as many times as we want, take a channel that we've created and select that, or turn it into a selection, and then go back and edit it some more and take our time and not be rushed into making selections. We can do this in a couple of different ways. For instance, I will start here with a selection. All right, and we can make a new channel. In Photoshop, it's called an alpha channel. Of course, we always start out with our channels. We have our composite channel and our individual color channels, 3 of them if we're in RGB, 4 of them if we are in CMYK, plus the composite channel. Okay? And anytime we create a new channel, Photoshop gives it a fancy name and they call it an alpha channel. Well, you know, it doesn't really mean much. You can call it whatever you want. But the point is, it is an image. Of course, it won't print or anything. It is a tool to manipulate your files. And again, we can take a channel that we've created and we can turn it into a selection as many times as we want. By the way, when we look at our channels and we turn the image off, it's a black and white animal, black and white tool. It looks just like a layer mask, doesn't it? Because it essentially is the same kind of thing. And when we convert this into a selected shape, the black area is not the selected part of the image, and so we think of that as being the protected part of the image. In fact, the white area of the image is the part of the image that will be selected. So the white area is the unprotected or selected area, and the black part is the protected or unselected part of the channel, unless we inverse it or do something else. And when we look at the channel just by itself, it is black and white only. When we turn on our image with it, it shows up as being red and translucent. This is so that we can see it in relationship to our image, to edit it some more. And that's why you see it currently in red. This wouldn't print. This is simply indicating the shape of the new channel I made. And the channel, a new channel can be made in one of 2 ways. First, I'll make a selection. Okay, there you have it. And I can either go to the bottom of my tool palette and click that little icon. That's called a quick mask. Let me see here. I want to make sure I've got my image. I have a selection, and I will create a new channel. And I can create that channel either from here at the bottom of my channels palette, right here, or I can click over here at the bottom of my tool palette, and it will make also a channel. There's virtually no difference between these two critters, and it's very, very easy to do. And for instance, again, here's a selection. I'll make a new channel. There it is. Okay. I can then, once I have it as a channel, I can drag it right down to the bottom of the channels palette and turn it into a selection. So a selection into a channel back into a selection, and I can now make a new channel from down here, and you can see they look virtually the same. One called a quick mask and one called an alpha channel. It makes no difference. Okay? And once we have it, we can go in here, and we have to make sure that it is picked in the channels palette. But I can go in here with the painting tools, and we can, in fact, paint to make more of the area blocked out, if you will, or just simply change the shape of the selection, because that's what we're doing. These changes will be saved, and when we reselect the image or convert it back into a selection again, drag it right down to the bottom, you see it now, the changes I've made are represented by the difference in the selected area. I'll deselect it. You can come in here and go, well, I did too much, so let's try the eraser tool, and I'll actually open it up to show more of her and the background. And again, this change is saved, and now when I convert it into a selection, you see that it's a very different shape. And I could then say, okay, let's I'm going to inverse this, Command-Shift-I, and I will go to the image in my layers palette. Okay. Also, you got to make sure that the composite image is chosen. The layer that I want to apply this to, and here I took out the background, or actually turned it into black. But the point is that maybe I want to take out the background, maybe I just want to go in and edit the color and change the hue and saturation. Whatever I want to do, the many different things that we might want to do with selections, I can do. And the point is that it will be saved, this shape, so that I can reselect it at any time, as many times as I want. And it gives me a very, very powerful tool to manipulate my images. In the next video, we're going to talk about how we can start from the get-go from creating a new channel from one of the existing channels. And that is going to be something that you're going to find, I think, pretty fascinating, because it gives us the ability to do some pretty amazing things with starting from an existing channel to delicately cut her out of the background and yet save all of the details of her hairline. Okay?